Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2! Today, it's going to be a ZVT on Ice and Chrome, the latter edition, one of the new maps that was played in the Stay at Homestory Cup number 2 that just wrapped up about a few days ago here now. And yeah, it's going to be INnoVation versus Solar, two Koreans going at it for our entertainment. Top right-hand corner of Ice and Chrome, a pretty darn large map. It is the blue Terran player INnoVation. And in the bottom left side, it is the red Zerg player, Solar. Now, Solar, great Zerg player, man. Really good, especially in online cups. Man, he kills at Africa World events. Whenever he shows up, he's won, geez, I want to say 8 times or so, 8 or 9 times, somewhere around there. It's more than anybody has ever won at the Africa World events. The last one was actually won by stats, but Solar was not involved in that one, so who knows? Anyway, as a quick aside, if you ever want to see me cast live StarCraft 2 with players like Stats and INnoVation and Solar and Laser, and I mean just all sorts of parting great players, Zest, hit me up, man. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/FalconPaladin. I'll be posting some information about the Africa World events at least 2 or 3 days before they happen. It'll be on africatv.com/laughinggames, who's my co-caster and the guy who organizes these things. And yeah, it's just a good time, man. I love casting for Africa Worlds. I wish we had more viewership, and if like a 10th of you guys showed up to those things, it would be awesome. It would be so good for us. Anyway, Reaper on the way from INnoVation, Banshee Pilot. After several close calls, the Banshee Pilot Stimpack addiction got the better of him and resulted in a failed operation against anti-Dominion rebels. Instead of imprisoning or executing the Banshee Pilot, the commanding officer decided to send him to the Reaper program, where their drug addiction can be put to good use. Okay, I guess that's how that works. If you're already addicted to drugs, put him in a Reaper suit. That'll totally work. Anyway, anything crazy happening? No, definitely not. 4 Lings in production, 2 Queens on the way from Solar. Ice and Chrome, new map, blizzardy, snowy map, which I just love this aesthetic so much. It's just pretty, man, the snowy stuff. I remember when the snow maps were introduced in Brood War, not StarCraft 1. The expansion Brood War, which is actually only a few months after StarCraft 1 came out, but I remember being like, snow maps had exploded. I was just mind blown. It was so pretty. And then the irony is that snow maps are just not played in StarCraft Brood War because the players, they say the tile set is so bright it hurts their eyes. So it's funny. Basically all I have to do is be like, hey, I found a snow map with some decent players. Check it out. And everybody's like, snow map! But it gets like 8,000 views. It's hilarious. Snow maps, rare and loved by StarCraft fans. Third base coming up from Solar. Probably moving into Hellion Harass. This is on the latest patch. So these guys right here have a light armor status instead of armored, which means that Hellions do bonus damage versus them now. So we'll see how this does. Queen range was nerfed from 8 to 7 in the latest patch at the same time. What else? Widow Mines. The ability for Widow Mines to be permacloaked has been moved to the existence of the armory. If there's an armory, Widow Mines will be permacloaked when burrowed, but if you want them to burrow and unburrow quickly, that is still the Drilling Claws upgrade. Those are the things that matter for this particular matchup. Reaper here, Banshee Pilot, does have a kill, which is a Zergling, which again, to be expected here. But yeah, in a matchup where people feel like Zerg is ridiculously overpowered, I'm interested to see how INnoVation does here against Solar. It should be a pretty good one, if I had to make an assumption. Command Center coming up. We're going for Cloak Banshee opening, which the Overlord is going to scout. So INnoVation has some choices here. He can either, A, leave this alone, continue researching the Cloak and the Banshee, or cancel it and move into something else, and force Solar to prepare for Banshees, when in fact they're not coming. At this point, I mean, if he's still making them, he's probably still going for Banshee. But, I mean, I don't know. He's going to make Queens and Spores anyway, Solar is. He's not really worried about it. He doesn't need the Spores yet because, obviously, well, the Banshee is not out yet. He would have seen that. It's an expansion. Quick expand means the Banshee timing's a little bit later. Hellion's coming on in, trying to kill some of this creep. Trying to roast up a couple of these drones. We'll see. Watch this tumor right here. See? Dead. That would have survived another couple hits if it was armored. For Hellions, that bonus versus light really starts to add up. It doesn't help them kill Queens by any stretch, because Queens are psionic. But against these tumors, things have changed a little bit. Is he going to bother with the scan here? I think he might. 2 turns, is it worth it? How many tumors before a scan is worth it, Terran players? What do you think? 2, 3, 4? INnoVation doesn't seem interested in doing any, to be honest, right now. Maybe jumping on these would be pretty good, but 3 queens are so scary. We 3 queens of Zerg are... Ooh, Solar are. That might have worked. We 3 queens of Solar are... I need the 3 syllables, though. I don't know. I got nothing. Brain exploded at this point in time. What is Solar doing to respond to this? Well, he's making a Spire. What is every Zerg doing these days? Every Zerg feels like they're Serral, and they can make mutas and make them look like gods against Terran. But, like... There's 3 players. 3 players on planet Earth right now that I would trust to make Mutalisks against INnoVation. And Solar, I'm sorry, I love you, but you are not on that list. God, the Africa World that I just cast with Laughing Games last weekend, Africa World number 60, again, the one that Stats won. There were so many games where Zergs were like, all right, I'm going to go Mutiling Bane against the Terran and do pretty well for myself. And then that's not going to be able to kill them super well. So there's your scan. And look at these tumors. 2 shots down. That one died in 1 shot. And then they make Ultras, because what else are you going to follow it up with? And then the Ultras all die, and then the Zerg dies. So there's like this Ultra curse going on right now. And I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just feel like that's where we're going with Solar. So that Hellian's dead. Oh, hold on. Yeah, he dead. You get that caught out. Oh, these Lings engaging off creep really want to get some kills. And they're going to get them, too. Check this out. Oh, man, he just took map control. He made a lot of Lings. Lost a bunch of Zerglings, but did take map control. He can now drone with Abandon. Except he's making 14 more Lings and 8 Mutalisks. All right, cool. So INnoVation, here's the thing. He has a lot of answers to mutas. He's got missile turrets. He's got Thors. He has Widow Mines. He has Marines. Just regular old Marines. Will shred Mutalisks. Especially if mutas are in a defensive position where they have to hold still and stand against an oncoming Marine army, which is why you have Banelings. So the Mutiling Bane is a strategy that is super old. It really had its heyday in Heart of the Swarm. It's a really good combination. And it was kind of dead for a while. It was really dead for a while. Well, Medevac does get focused down. A couple mutas dying in the process, though. 3 mutas died there. Mutas are so expensive, but the Medevacs get killed. And wow, that was handled by Solar. I mean, sure, he lost a bunch of units there. It was not great for him, but killing full Medevacs effectively for INnoVation has got to be crushing the Terran soul right there. Anyway, the point is, it was basically forgotten. Ling Bling Muta was something that, like, Scarlet still did, kind of. And, like, I don't know. Maybe Solar did it every once in a while, but nobody did it. And then Cyril's like, you know what's good? Mutalisks. And then everybody's like, yeah, Mutalisks are good. It's very, very reminiscent of... well, the NBA. If you're not an NBA fan, bear with me. But Michael Jordan, you might have heard of him. Greatest player of all time in NBA history. When he was doing his thing, everybody copied him. Everybody was like, I'm going to change my game to be like Mike's. Especially young and up-and-coming players tried to copy his style. And he just... I don't know, man. There's only one Mike. Oh, the mutas, though. This is what I'm talking about. The Marines just destroy them. How many mutas have gone down today? 4. That's 400 minerals and 400 gas that have been killed. Drilling Claws being researched because you still like the ability to burrow and unburrow those Widow Mines quickly if you're INnoVation. Infestation Pit coming up here from Solar. And yeah, I mean, this is... you're going for upgrades for your Lings and your Banelings and your Ultralisks. Getting +1 flyer attack. I've just seen the recipe. I don't know what it is. Thor's in production. Mutas swinging around the backside. There is a turret here, though, and that's not enough mutas to handle that turret. Ow, 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 ow. Didn't even kill enough Marine or SCVs to trigger the SCV's killed setup there. Here in the Game Hard interface. That said, this is a bit of a tenuous situation for INnoVation. This is where Solar's effectively maxed out. Or getting there. He's got a lot of Zerglings, a lot of Banelings. His creep spread is kind of perfect. At this stage of the game, there's really nowhere that INnoVation can go to approach any of these hatcheries without getting immediately swarmed because of how good the spread is. And I have seen Zerg players be able to win here at this stage of the game, right? About 10 minutes. They just max out. There you go. 194 supply, Lings, Banelings with +1/+1, Mutalisk with +1 attack. And you can jump on a Terran player and wreck them pretty effectively. Like this. This is pretty wide open. You Baneling bust this. All the Lings get in here. There's not a lot of bile. There is a single... oh, these are changelings. Did INnoVation allow these changelings to stay until they expired? Oh my gosh, INnoVation. What? Usually changelings are killed within about 3.4 seconds, if not less, of the opposing player recognizing that they're in the general area, he didn't recognize they were in the general area. That's incredible stuff. The Thor with their anti-air splash is a good answer to these mutas, obviously. These Zerglings are like, hey, I recognize there was an army here, but I don't actually respect it. Until you should. Kind of come around this right side. Bit of an army here for INnoVation. No, not happening. Look at these tumors. That is so many creep tumors from Solar. I'm loving it right now. Hive, watch this Ultralisk Cavern. You ready for the Ultralisk Cavern? Run, Baylings on the Thors! Dead. Marines running back. Tanks firing. Planetary firing. Solar pulls back very intelligently. A lesser Zerg player would have gone in there and probably lost all of his stuff. Just killed the Thor, got a bunch of kills, called it a good day. And look, again, trying to come over this direction. Hard to do. Because there's the creep, and the vision is present, and this hatchery might just get burned down anyway because the Banelings aren't here yet. And the focus fire is not enough. Banelings here, 2 more Thors. The hatch finishes, but it's extremely injured. And how many Banelings are left on the ground? The answer is enough, I guess. You don't want to explode on that Thor. You want to kill that bio who's sandwiched between 2 Thors. And again, if they're going out this way, great. Oh, the juke back around. He jukes back around. He's an army coming in the right side. Well, this hatch is done. Solar kind of lets it go. Decides to go after this small group of Marines instead, which easier to kill. No Thors in this group, but losing a hatch kind of sucks. Adrenal glands on the way. +3/+3 coming in. 40 Lings in production from Solar right now. This group is... Yeah, the mutas are like, we got this whole group. Let's just kill your medevacs. And some of your Marines, and we'll get out of here. Bye! Medevac count is currently 7. Could be better. These 2 Thors are done. Just fully surrounded. 2/2 Zerglings without adrenal glands even are Thor's worst nightmares, which is why you got to have something with those Thors to handle the Zerglings. Like a bunch of Marines maybe can do it. Some Hellbats, not a bad idea either, but they are pretty involved. Those Hellbats are. Hey, look! Ultralisks are in production. Ta-da! Let's see if this works out for Solar. I'm telling you, there's a bit of an Ultralisk curse right now. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen here. I'm not saying this is going to end in a failure from the Zerg player. I've seen this play out. This is so many Lings and Banelings, though. Oh my gosh. Oh, maybe don't go on that creep. And a Widow Mines getting focused down and killed without really doing much. That was really well done by Solar there. 3/3 finishing in for INnoVation and his bio. So Mutiling Baneling, Ultralisk is presente. They do not have the speed upgrade. They do not have Chitinous plating even. Hatch killed or canceled on the left side again. Widow Mines trying to do anything. Getting hits on these Ultras is considered a bonus. That's magic damage right there, effectively. It does ignore armor, which if you're trying to kill Ultras, and anything that ignores armor is going to be good. Right side INnoVation. And this is how we've seen Zerg players picked apart in the past. Maru did this really effectively against Raynor back in GSL. It's a matter of you set up a couple different armies on different sides of the map, and you just keep pressuring and trying to make good trades over and over again. And force the Zerg player to be in 2 places at once effectively, which he's done here pretty admirably, actually. Yeah, the Lingbane creating pretty well there. I gotta say, Anabolic Synthesis is finishing up for the Ultras, of which there are 1. 1 Ultralisk, 3 more on the way. This Ultra happily has 2 kills, which is not bad. 199 to 153 supply. Thor's down. This might actually just work out for Solar. I'm looking at it. Ultralisk dead. Oh, the Widow Mine hits. The Mutas are here. The Banelings are trying to focus. I don't know where they're going. See ya, Banelings, I guess. And just Mutas remaining are not. They can't stand in. They can't finish the fight for you because Marines are the response to them. And Marines are so cheap and being constantly produced. Left side base again attempted from Solar. He does have this base now. And all the times we've been trying to take this base along the left top side, he just finally takes this one instead. Creep spread coming along this right side is a little bit lackluster in this area. It would be nice to have INnoVation landing another base. He hasn't lost any bases yet today. Workers lost 4 SCVs and 3 drones. So both players doing a great job keeping their workers alive, which is hugely important in StarCraft. Those changelings get mowed down by that Thor. I don't know if you get credit for killing a changeling if you're a Thor. Like, it's a changeling. It dies in 1 hit to everything. But these are 3/3 fully upgraded Adrenalings, and suddenly a bunch of SCVs are going to go down. And then they get out of there. Mr. Ursadon. He's so cool. Look how cool this Ursadon is. I want like a whole movie about Ursadon. Oh, hang on. The Lings came back. Okay. And suddenly there's an entire Zerg army here chasing. They want to chase in the planetary? No, but they will kill this base before it turns into a planetary. And then lift off, and the mules are going to deal with it. This base is dead again. This left side piece by Solar is dead again. Command center trying to get saved. The mutas take it down. The mutas are engaging with these Marines, but there's Baneling support, so it doesn't matter as much. The mutas get out of there. How many mutas have died today, you might ask? Well, the answer is 12. It's not a horrible number. Ling's Ultra is on creep, going to do pretty well for themselves. And these Marauders, actually not an answer to the mutas, surprisingly, insofar as they don't shoot up. Forcing a cancel on that base. Solar is playing stupid well right now. Like, incredibly well right now. Just everything's here. Ling, Muta, Baneling, Ultralisk. They're going to jump on this planetary. Again, doesn't like jumping on the planetary. It's too much additional damage. Yeah, we'll roll the Banelings in your mineral line and kill your SCVs, and then maybe try to finish this off with an Ultralisk. Chop, chop, chopping it down with some Muta support. 24 SCVs have gone down. INnoVation is marching across the map, trying to find another base to kill. Maybe some Queens while you're at it. Sure. Queen down. The Zergling count is so many, though. Does force an entire liftoff here. INnoVation has lost 2 bases in short order. He has a base in the top left, though. He's rolling with it, and he does have mules. The income tab, though, is hugely favoring Solar, and that is not a good sign for anybody in a ZVT. You don't want to be in that situation as a Terran or a Protoss, or really ever. I don't care what race you are. Nice base. Mutas. Not quite enough here to handle it. We'll just go ahead and make 15 Banelings, and that should be enough to take care of it, I guess. Got army down on this right side, too. I mean, both players are maxed out. INnoVation is just playing like a god at the moment, despite losing these 2 bases. He does manage to take the top base to recover a little bit of that income that he lost. Creep spread from Solar has been disgusting today. Like, look at this. Look at these tumors he's thrown up. These are INnoVation's bases that are being creeped. Planetary trying to get some splash on those Banelings. It does manage to do so. Marauder trying to do the same thing on the other side. Not bad. That Ultra goes down. The Banelings aren't going to contact with anything, probably. The Mutas are chased away by the missile turrets. And that engage in that planetary was a pretty big fail there from Solar. Ultralisks jumping up again. More Banelings here, though. And, yeah, that's a dead base. Kaboom! Goodbye, planetary. And everybody gets out of there as soon as it is dead. Very smartly done. Southern base being harassed a bit. But, you know, Ultras are present. Banelings are present. And Solar doing a really good job disengaging from fights he can't win. It's another Ultralisk down. Crikey, 7 Ultras have died. 21 Medivacs have gone down. There are 9 here for INnoVation. I don't know that Solar's ever had a really giant, scary army in one place, but it doesn't really matter if INnoVation doesn't have a giant, scary army in one place. We're microing in 2 places at once right now, which is just so hard to deal. These guys aren't actually running from this Ultralisk, allowing him to chomp them up to pieces. That's 3 dead Ultras on that low ground, though. That sucks immensely. There's just not a lot here for INnoVation. More Banelings, more Lings. This is great. This is seriously a legit incredible ZVT. I haven't cast a good ZVT like this in some time. We're at 18 minutes into this thing. 9 Corruptors in production. I don't think that's Broodlords. Is he just using them to go against Medivacs? Yeah, Spire is just a Spire. It's not a greater Spire yet. Resources lost 35-5 to 36-2. I mean, it is tight right now, which does not bode well for the Zerg player, honestly, to be even on resources lost here. But good split on the units, trying to take down the Ultras, and these 2 are going to die. There's another one coming in here. The Marauders of 3-3 just are so good against the Ultras. Another one dies. Nothing to do against the Mutalisks, though. The Corruptors are probably going to caustic spray down this planetary if I had to guess what they're into. A couple of Widowmines coming on down. It's 182 to 128 supply. Solar is pulling ahead despite the fact that he has lost a total of 13 Ultralisks today. He's retaken the top left-hand side base. He's destroyed the top base by INnoVation. And he's trying to hold on to this one right now. It's really important that he do at the moment because there's nowhere else that he can really go for that sweet, sweet mineral income with the Vespene gas. Is Solar going to win this thing? I'm going to tell you, when I came into this game, I did not expect we would see anything along the lines of a Solar win, but this is so confident right here. The Banelings. Bah, bah, bah. Widowmines getting shots onto the Corruptors. They don't care nearly as much as the Mutalisks do. Another planetary down. 17 more SCVs killed. The top base by INnoVation has been taken in the meantime. He's at 51 workers at the moment. See it? Man, this creep spread, though. Again, the early advance warning. There's just so much Zerg. This is made... I don't know what it is. And that's your good game. Solar takes a game off of INnoVation at Homestory Cup number 2 for 2020. Stay at Homestory Cup in 20 minutes and 27 seconds. All right, man, I guess that the curse is broken. We're going to call the curse broken there. I have officially seen and cast a game where Zerg goes Ultralisks against an elite Terran player. INnoVation is one of those. And wins. He lost 44,000 resources, but guess what? He killed 45,000 of innovations. He killed 3 planetaries. He killed 2 command centers, 7 Thors, 92 Marauders, and 181 Marines in exchange for 19 Mutas, 13 Ultralisks, 2 of his hatcheries, which I think were mostly on the left side there. He never lost any of these other bases. Down this way, did he? Not this one, not this one, not this one, I don't think. Yeah, just this income tab. The last 10 minutes belongs to Solar. It's really what it comes down to. Killing bases, killing workers, keeping yours alive. StarCraft is a pretty simple game sometimes when it comes down to it, but he was just... The creep spread, too, is... Look at this creep. It is pushing up everywhere. The INnoVation is trying to live. Check this out. Creep here. Creep here. Creep here. Especially close here. Creep in a spitting distance from here, and yeah, that is a problem for Terran players. Man, Solar's creep spread was so great this game. Whew, this is how you beat an elite Terran player as Zerg, I can tell you that much. And yeah, just disengaging from engagements that were not beneficial to him, right? You saw him turn around his Ultras when they were here just to save them. Not every time, because there were 3 Ultra Carcasses down here just a couple of minutes ago. But yeah, just not chasing INnoVation off creep and not attacking unless he has overwhelming force. Remember this? This was... Wait, hang on a second. Was this a planetary fortress? Anyway, remember how many times he came here and tried to kill this when it was a planetary fortress and then just turned around once it was pretty darn clear that he wasn't having overwhelming force here versus INnoVation? Just patience. Just patience, man. Just like Cyril. Man. Solar. Maybe I'm underestimating you here. We'll have to see. Anyway, end of the day, a lot of dead stuff. And if you lose more things than your Zerg opponent as a Terran, you're probably going to have a bad time, and that's kind of what it came down to. So that's going to be it from me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 from the Stay at Homestory Cup number 2. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.